Peace and blessings, everyone. Good evening. Hope everyone is well on this Wednesday evening. Peace and blessings, everyone. And we welcome you to another edition of the On Point Weather Report, live here in direct on the New Freedom Exchange platform. We hope that everyone is well. We hope that you are enjoying this evening or this day, wherever you are in the world. And we ask that you share this live stream to your colleagues, friends, and family. As tonight, we will be having a discussion on the latest information in regards to the pending potential winter storm on the way for the northeast region of the United States. So we ask that you share this live stream to your friends and to your family members. And we also ask that you consider subscribing to the On Point Weather Report subscription to stay the latest. Subscribing to the channel will allow you to receive information first, foremost. Again, always we strive to deliver information that's on point and that's resourceful. So there you could stay ahead and stay abreast to what is going on. And you get a little bit behind the scenes. We're working on some more content related to build out the platform. So, in the infancy stages and development of the platform, we ask that you participate in the platform, however you choose to participate in the subscription-based platform that we have with the On Point Weather Report. So we're going to put that in the comment section for those who are watching from wherever you are, and those who will watch later to consider to subscribe to the On Point Weather Report. And there it is in the comment section, wherever you are watching this platform. And we also ask that if you are tuned in to the platform, we ask to, let us know where you're tuned in from so we can shout you out and recognize you also on the platform as well. So without no further ado, is happy Wednesday to everyone. This is a first day of winter was this past Sunday, winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. And as we progress throughout winter, of course, the days will get a little bit longer. You start recognizing it more so towards the latter portion, more likely of the winter going into the spring, that the sun will not be setting at the times it has been setting closer to around 4:15, 4:20, and before 5 o'clock, generally for everyone, generally for a lot of folks, and then perhaps 5 o'clock for those who live further south. But nevertheless, the sun will be setting a little bit later as we make progressions towards the springtime later in the year. So as we close out the month of December, we're closing out on a very on a very interesting note, with the Northeast region being impacted potentially with another some more winter weather. Um, we've seen winter weather 2 weeks ago in the same part of the region, and it looks to be that same parts of the region will be impacted yet again with another storm system. We also have going on in California right now some high risk flooding going on in California right now as we speak, and that includes areas of portions of Southern California, LA included in that as well. We're seeing flooding rains over the past few days, and this is in an area and that has been impacted by the wildfires, and it's been considerably dry over the past few months. So, and for a long time. So, a lot of the rain that's falling will potentially cause mudslides, potentially cause, as it has been flooding in this region. So, we'll discuss that a little bit as well. And I do know that a state of emergency has been declared by Governor Newsom for 6 Southern California counties in Southern California. So that's a problem area that we're also monitoring as we speak. And we'll discuss that as well tonight briefly as well to bring you up to speed about what's going on in Southern California. Actually, the system that we are monitoring for the Northeast region has just entered the Pacific Northwest, the West Coast. As of today, the storm system that will impact eventually the Northeast has made landfall in the West Coast, and it will track into Canada and then eventually into the Midwest, upper parts of the Midwest, and then dropping down into the Northeast region by the time we get to Friday. So the storm system has arrived in the Pacific Northwest and will track quickly across the country and eventually have impacts here in the Northeast portion of the United States. One of the things that I'd like to mention is that we've been witnessing, at least in this part of the country and the Northeast region, cold weather for considerably the last 2 weeks has been cold in the Northeast region and getting down to the Mid-Atlantic region as well of the United States. The cold air has definitely been in place. It's definitely been cold here in the region. And that trend will considerably more than likely continue with some degree of mild air or mild temperatures getting in between. But nevertheless, we'll have probably another cold bout after this weekend coming up. Probably the mildest day or the warmest day of the week would probably be next Monday, with temperatures in the mid 40s. Some people may hit 50, but probably low mid 40s would be a best bet next Monday in the parts of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic region. And then after that, we'll see the temperatures drop back down behind that system on Monday. That will give us cold air coming back into place as we head in towards the end of the year, with temperatures going below freezing again, and our evening lows waking up, nighttime going into daybreak. Going into wake up time will be in the 20s and maybe some teens. So that's like a couple of days out, or a little more next week. We want to get into what's pending. It won't be a white Christmas tomorrow. For those who do celebrate, that will be not happening. For most, the storm system will come later on Friday. So the timetable was Friday night, Friday evening into a good half a portion of Saturday before clearing out. So there will be no winter precipitation tomorrow. For those who are traveling tomorrow, you'll be okay. For those who considering traveling after Thursday, is going to be potentially problematic Friday night into Saturday. If you are planning to fly or drive, probably will not recommend. If you are going to do that, probably will not recommend it. And if you have a flight, definitely to check ahead as we get closer to Friday to see if your flight has been delayed or canceled due to winter weather precipitation. So nevertheless, let's get to it tonight and pull up some of our weather models here. And thank you for joining, Roy. I see as Roy is here. Thank you for joining and supporting the channel, as we do appreciate that as well, for sure, without a doubt. Let me see here. I think we're going with this one. Yes. Okay. So here we have it. Here we have the American model GFS here. And the reason why we're showing the models is very important, because we want to give you all a sense of what's happening what's happening with with our systems in the atmosphere that's leading up to this. So we want to definitely give you that chance to see that tonight. So if you are able to see the screen, I'm going to kind of move it back in time to where we are now currently. So if you're able to see the screen, this is where we're at. Our storm system has entered the Pacific Northwest, as mentioned earlier. And if I can make this a little bit bigger, then that's good. Okay, so our storm system has entered the Pacific Northwest with rain for the most part and mountainous snow in some portions of Washington State. Again, as mentioned earlier, Southern California is getting hit pretty hard the last few days with heavy rain, again, causing flooding in this region, again, due to the wildfires that has occurred in California. That area is very brittle, very dry. A lot of rain falling at short periods of long duration periods of time has caused some caused flooding issues in Southern California. So that will that's still a threat as we move in time, but our storm system will pop out and take a ride over Canada and pop back out, as you see here. By this time, what's today? This time later today, will overnight will pop out around the 26th. It will pop out right back here in the Midwest region, right here, the center low pressure system, right here. This is the storm for us. And again, California is dealing with another storm system that will come in over the next few days. So this will be an active pattern in the West Coast to deal with for California up until Oregon and Washington State. So our storm system will pop back out here once it rides over the ridge, over Pacific Northwest, over into Canada, coming back down into the upper Midwest. And you'll notice here the trend has been, which is a good trend for if you want snow in our region, you don't want a low pressure system to ride into Canada, because once it rides into Canada, it brings up the mild air from the south. So instead of taking that route, this storm system will take a southern route. So right now, moving it in further in time, we have a low pressure system in Ohio that will eventually go southward, right? It will eventually go southward into West Virginia, and then to Virginia, and then eventually out to sea come later Saturday, and then progressively things clear out, and then that's gone by Sunday. By Sunday, this will be gone completely out to sea. But nevertheless, we're going to go back in time again, and you'll see there's going to be several problems that we're going to have to deal with. One, the blue area represents snow, so that's all snow. The pink is something that you don't want to see, and that's ice, freezing rain, or frozen precipitation, not in the form of snow, but in the form of ice. And that will be central Pennsylvania going into central southern New Jersey. That includes Philadelphia, and going into New Jersey, southern New Jersey at that, will be some sort of freezing rain and ice potential here that could cause potential problems in terms of definitely travel, but definitely don't want to see ice. You'll take the snow. We always will take that versus ice, because that it becomes a little more treacherous for travel and other things. And we start talking about power outages and things of this nature. So this region here will have to deal with an ice situation. And most of the people north of 78, I-78, getting into northern New Jersey, New York City, Hudson River Valley, and into Connecticut will deal mainly with snow. For the most part, everyone in this portion of the Northeast will deal with snow. That and that will start as snow and more likely end with snow as the storm moves away out to sea. Now, the trend has been even 06, that's the 18 ZGFS, the 06 version, which came out earlier, pretty much show the same trend. Again, a low pressure system, upper Midwest, ice event in Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania, into Maryland, and then southern northern portions of Delaware and southern New Jersey, and then eventually snow pulling out to sea. Most of the models agree with this, especially the American model agrees. We even go back to the 00Z version of the GFS, and these are just different times, different forms of the model at different times. You know, it's just showing the same, pretty much an agreement with the current model, which is the 18Z, which is what we have now. And that's showing pretty much snow for New York City, northern New Jersey, Long Island, Connecticut, Hudson River Valley. So getting pretty much a good agreement for snow for this region. Now, I think the GFS is pretty much the same too. We'll do, yes. So we'll do GFS model here. So the global, again, move it in time. Again, you notice, again, ice event, central Pennsylvania, snow event, northern New Jersey, lower Hudson Valley, New York City. That's all snow. And again, out to sea at that point. So nevertheless, the European model is pretty much on board, also on board with what's going to happen Friday night into Saturday midday or Saturday afternoon. And again, I'm just looking at the other, we're just going to show the different other versions of the same model, but different outputs. It's the same, pretty much the same consensus. And this is why, you know, it's important to note that once we gain consensus, once models give consent, pretty much, I won't say it's a guarantee, but pretty much it is a guarantee. I won't worry about the mesoscale NAM model yet. Those are short range. These are all short range models here. The NAM 12K, 32K, 3K, HRR. Those we won't really worry about because they're not even in motion yet, because these are short range, so they won't get into motion until Friday. Really tomorrow night, but really into Friday, they won't really get into motion. So we're not even going to bother looking at them yet for anything. But we want to look at also how much people may want to know. Well, how much is this? How much snow are we talking about? And you know, we gave you time frame. Now we want to know how much, right? So let's discuss that. Let me stop sharing real quick and let's discuss if I can. Oh boy, I want to be able to, okay, move down. That's, this is what I want to do. I'll show it in a second here. I'm just pulling up our snow map here, according to the GFS model. Total, let's do, I think that's total snowfall. No. Well, we could probably do that. Let me see. Hold on one second here. We're going to move that up in time. Yeah, we're going to move this up in time. That will be Saturday the 27th. So we're going to move up in time here. And I'm going to show what a little bit. Okay, here we go. Now we can show that back. Share screen. I hope it changed. No, wrong screen, right? No, wrong screen. Let's do, this is the screen here. Nope. This is it here. Okay, here we go. This is our total snowfall, at least on the GFS model. And like, draw your attention to, here we go. Oh, too small. Draw your attention to this portion of the country where my cursor is at, with the plus sign. This is assuming 10-to-1 snow liquid ratio, taking into consideration how much liquid will this storm produce. The pinks pinkish, reddish, pinkish color. Generally speaking, about 6 inches, at least 4 to 6 inches. And that really covers, again, northern New Jersey, getting into New York City, and getting to parts of Connecticut, definitely up the Hudson River Valley, and getting southeastern portions of Connecticut. But I would like to say that more than likely we will get a general swath of 4 to 6 inches of snow for majority of the folks in New York City, New Jersey, Connecticut, and the lower Hudson Valley. And we'll pull up what the latest in terms of watches that are up. Believe it or not, because of where we are in time, not too far away from the storm, even though we are still about a few days away, there's been a good enough amount of consensus for us for some watches to be issued, which is great in the sense that there is consensus, and then there's also consensus on preparation for what is to come. So generally speaking, we're talking about late Friday afternoon through Saturday afternoon. We're talking at least 4 to 8 inches of snow on the low side, 4, up the upper side 8. So we'll take that range, right? We'll do 4 to 8. We're talking about Southern Connecticut under the winter storm watch. For Southern Connecticut, I'm gonna stop sharing this screen because we don't need this no more at this point. Let me X that out. For Southern Connecticut, our friends in northern, northeast New Jersey and southeast New York, Hudson Valley as well. We're talking about at least 4 to 8 inches of snow. Any areas under the winter storm watch, we're talking at least 4 to 8 inches of snow. And that's again occurring from Friday afternoon through Saturday afternoon. And the bulk of the heaviest precipitation will more likely fall as we get into Friday night and into Saturday morning. Okay, the bulk of the heaviest precipitation will fall somewhere between Friday night into Saturday morning. And that's the time we expect the fullest those amounts. So we're talking about Stamford, Bridgeport, Connecticut, up to Danbury, Connecticut, down to Yonkers, down to that's all of Yonkers, all of Westchester County, down to the city, New York City, all the 5 boroughs, all the way out towards basically almost out to almost all of Long Island. But right now it's cut off towards about Holbrook, Long Island, and then points westward into New Brunswick, Morristown, Newark, New Jersey, Bergen County, all those counties up in northern New Jersey, pretty much a done deal with a generally swap of 40 inches of snow for those areas. Now, the tricky forecast is for our friends in past Central going down to southern New Jersey, because if you're in Trenton, you're on the cusp. You just make it into the snow for Trenton. For central New Jersey, at least also around 5 to 8 inches of snow, generally speaking, even down to Trenton, all the way to the Jersey Shore. But if you're down towards Philadelphia and points southward, that's where we'll have to deal with mixing sleet, freezing rain, which will cut down, and some warming that could potentially bring in rain will cut down on your accumulations for the Philadelphia point southward area towards southeastern Pennsylvania and Delaware. So doesn't look to be a lot of snow coming into this area, but we have to deal with an ice situation in central Pennsylvania, again to southeastern Pennsylvania. So while the other portions of the state get snow, we're on the cusp. If you're in Philadelphia, we're on the cusp of at least getting 1 to 3 inches of snow. And I'll probably lean towards maybe 1 to 2 inches of snow in Philadelphia before we get rain to come in overnight into Philadelphia and the sleet to come in, which will cut down the accumulations in Philadelphia. So this is not a Philadelphia event for Philly. This is only if you're in Trenton on northward, all snow. If you're not in Trenton on northward, you're going to get either rain or sleet or freezing rain for a period of time, which is not going to go well for travel, neither in either location. So definitely prepare yourself for that. We're going to look at Chester, Pennsylvania, and points over there to maybe not Chester, but let's look at our friends in Allentown and those areas in central Pennsylvania, just to give you a sense of what we're talking about, because that area there is under a winter storm watch as well. But they'll probably get snow in Allentown of 4 to 6 inches of snow and some ice on top of that, about 2/10 of an inch in the Allentown area. So that's snow and then ice, on a little coating of ice on top, which will make travel a little bit more dangerous when we have ice on top, which is not a good thing. Lancaster, for instance, we discussed Lancaster and where Lancaster sits. This is where we start getting to the ice situation. We'll have heavy mixed precipitation. We'll have snow and sleet in Lancaster. Maybe get to 3 inches in Lancaster of snow, but we're talking about 1/10 and 1/4 of between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch of ice. That's the main concern for Lancaster, York, down to portions of northern Delaware and some of Maryland. Definitely this portion of Pennsylvania. You'll get snow, but it's going to be less. It's going to be more in the way of ice, and that's not good. So prepare yourself Friday morning in this portion of the country, Friday morning through Saturday morning, for the Pennsylvania will start with the ice first. We'll start with the frozen precipitation first before eventually the precipitation gets into New Jersey and then New York City. So for those who are living in central southern Pennsylvania, we'll have to prepare tomorrow for a ice situation, for ice storm or ice event situation that will be a prolonged period of ice. So you definitely want to prepare yourself for that. And we'll look at our friends in Baltimore, DC area to see what they're to expect, right? Because Baltimore and DC to get snow here is almost has to be a very perfect situation, just like in New York City and it's like all of tri-state on 95. But because of where the storm system is tracking, this area will be on the warm side of the storm. So we're talking about all rain of Baltimore. A mixture of rain and snow in Baltimore, which won't pose for a major snow accumulation in Baltimore or DC. So this is not an event for the Mid-Atlantic region or anything south of, again, central New Jersey. This would be either ice, and now we're just dealing with plain rain and maybe some snowflakes mixed in Baltimore and DC. That's it. It's just a main rain event for you all for Friday into Friday night. So again, for those who are living central New Jersey all the way up into Connecticut, all the way up to the Connecticut, all snow. This is our storm system for Friday night into Saturday. Lastly, for Boston, anyone into the New England region wanting to know what's happening into New England, is this a system for you? The answer is no. This is not a system for you. This is a southern event that will pass to south of to the precipitation shield would not get past Connecticut. Maybe extreme western portion of the state of Massachusetts, but barely. So we're talking, this is not a Boston event for our friends in Boston. So you will not get snow in Boston. You actually won't get any precipitation in Boston. Actually, you will have probably a mix of sun and clouds in Boston Friday into Saturday. It looks like to be a good weekend in Boston, but it will be cold. Temperatures will be in the low 20s and teens when you wake up and go to sleep, and when you wake up, it's going to be in the teens. So no snow or any precipitation in Boston. So New England, nothing in New England. This is definitely a very southern, not a southern slider, but a system that is small in scale and a quick swath of snow for a certain portion of a region. So that in this case, it happens to be us living in New York City, Hudson River Valley, Connecticut, and New Jersey, or parts of New Jersey. We'll get into the action. So again, we're talking about Friday into Saturday afternoon time period to prepare for that. So that is the latest guidance in terms of precipitation. For those who, I would say, time to get the shovels out. The last social system we didn't have to deal with any shovels. It was very light in nature. This one is plowable and shovelable. So for those who have shovels, bring out the shovels. Those who have plows, time to bring out the plows, the salt, and all that good stuff. You're going to need it if you're living in the areas that will get that 4 to 6 or 4 to 8 range of snow Friday night into Saturday. So it looks to be a plowable event. It will be our first plowable event of the season. And then after that, everything remains questionable, question mark. Always the long range is always a questionable area, because then you start talking about other things going on in the atmosphere, like, everything's going up in Greenland and all of those different things. And there's a lot of other factors that goes into the long range. It's quite hard. We can look at it, but it takes a little more time to explain what is actually going on and how that will impact us down here in the United States. So that's another discussion for another time, because there's a lot more moving parts to the forecasting for long range weather. But it does look to be the cold air looks to start us off in the new year. So we'll definitely have cold air in place, or some fashion of cold air. And I would like to say, before we end, one of the things that we don't want to see is too much cold air. Too much cold air, or a very strong high pressure, strong high pressure with a very deep high pressure with a lot of cold air, like oppressive. It becomes suppressive to storm systems. We want to have just enough cold air, or enough cold air to where not the storm system gets suppressed to the south, because this has happened before, where we have gotten storm systems that would have impacted us, but in previous seasons they get suppressed to the south and it becomes a southern slider, really a southern slider. And that's how we got snow. That's how you get snow in the Carolinas and the southern region, and ice storms in other regions of the country, especially the southern region of the country. That's how you get those type of storms to happen. We want the storm system we want this track to be where the northern jet stream provides the cold air, and then the two meet with the southern jet stream, which will bring us the moisture from the south, which will eventually tap into the cold air, will eventually bring the ice, freezing rain, or the snow, depending on what the temperatures are and the track of the storm system. That's the kind of setup, ideally, that we want. This happens to be a little bit different setup, slightly a little bit different in terms of track of this storm system, but nevertheless, it's not, the cold air is just in the right place. We have a high sitting up in Canada, just above New York State. A high sitting out to Canada is providing the cold air coming down into this portion of the United States, which is what we want. And we have a system coming in with available moisture, and bang, that's what we get. We get some snow in place. So again, before we close, just to quickly recap, the winter storm watch includes New York City, all 5 boroughs, Long Island, the lower Hudson River Valley, up into our friends in Connecticut, which we named, for the most part, all of Connecticut, with the exception of the extreme eastern portion of the state. But if you live in Stamford and New Haven, and those portions of Connecticut, you're included in the winter storm watch. And if you are in central New Jersey, northern New Jersey, Newark, and the counties in northern New Jersey, everyone decently will get at least around 4 to 6 inches under the winter storm watch. Now, there might be some areas that may get a little bit more than that, depending on where the banding sets up or where we get the most heaviest snow to fall. That's a more of a what we call nowcasting situation. Can't really predict where the bands will set up, the heaviest bands set up until the storm that actually is occurring. But nevertheless, generally speaking, this 4 to 6 is the general approximate that I like to keep for right now. And if things change, we'll let you know. But the sweet spot 4 to 6, isolated amounts of 6 inches plus in some areas, but we'll pinpoint that more as we get too closer to the time frame. But generally, 4 to 6 inches is the trajectory for right now, and all the models are in agreement that this will be a snow event for New York City, and our colleagues in the lower Hudson River Valley in Connecticut and northern New Jersey, and eastern portions of the state of Pennsylvania, an ice event for central southern Pennsylvania into northern Delaware, and all rain in Baltimore and DC. We're talking about Friday for snow for us, Friday night or late Friday afternoon into Saturday afternoon, early afternoon. And then for everyone else, starting a little earlier from DC, Baltimore, central southern Pennsylvania, will start Friday morning, and they'll be gone probably by early Saturday morning for them. And we'll probably be still dealing with some snow left on a Saturday. It doesn't look like a change to rain for us. It looks like we will have enough cold air in place for the event to be all snow with no mixing, except for maybe the coastal areas. But other than that, it looks to be all snow for everyone who has the cold air in place. So with that being said, if there are no other questions, we will bid you a good night. And just start preparing. Enjoy tomorrow. It'll be our last day of sunshine tomorrow before we enter a period of the clouds start rolling in on Friday, and we'll start seeing the precipitation arrive. So if you're moving around after Thursday, probably not the best thing to do, especially Friday night into Saturday probably won't be the best thing to do, move around. So if you want to move around and travel by car or by plane, especially by car, you may want to reconfigure your plans for Friday and especially Saturday, as it would be cleanup day for Saturday. So you may want to consider that. You'll be slower moving to get to your location. And if you have flights, definitely call ahead tomorrow and Friday morning to see if any flights are canceled or delayed leaving out of your locations. Mainly JFK, LaGuardia, Newark International, Philadelphia, possibly Philadelphia International as well. Just call ahead to see if your flights will be delayed on Friday, but especially Saturday, Friday night into Saturday, if you have flights leaving out of those airports. Okay. But that's it. Again, I thank you all for tuning in. For those who have tuned in to tonight's stream, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, the On Point Weather Report channel. We we have a platform that we're building out here, and we love for you to support it. And thank you for those who have supported the platform. We appreciate you always. Stay up to date with the latest information as time goes on. We'll share more information on the platform. Definitely subscribe at your leisure. Share this live stream to your friends, families, and colleagues. That's always appreciated as well. But definitely do subscribe to the link in the in the channel, and let us know what kind of other content you would like to see. Excuse me, as we'll be exploring much more content in the coming days and coming weeks on the platform as well. So again, thank you all for tuning in. This is Iman Blau with your weather report, On Point Weather Report. Always stay on point, and subscribe to the channel so you can stay on point with the latest and the greatest. Thank you for your time. Have a great rest of your Wednesday evening. Have an amazing Thursday, amazing holidays for those who celebrate any of the holidays that we're in the season now. And Happy New Year in 2026. If we don't see you on this live on January 1st, 2026, have a great start to 2026. And we will see you all soon. Peace and blessings, everyone. Good night.